What's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Please forgive my voice. I am finally getting out of the bed after a week. We've been sick. We don't know what it is. We've took lots of tests, and it's just basically a travel bug slash the flu. So we are here. Kim Kardashian said something that made all y'all mad because she was right. Get your asses to work. Now, many of you are gonna say, "Well, Erica, her father left her all this money," and we're gonna break that down. Because see, a lot of y'all think, well, he was a lawyer and he made all this money. Incorrect. He was actually a shitty lawyer, a not good lawyer. Only thing of his record that stood out was him being OJ's lawyer. Okay. Now I make the jokes all the time that Khloe Kardashian is OJ Simpson's daughter because she is, and the face and her looking like the other part of his daughters don't lie. Okay. Now I probably lost half of you, and that's okay. Hit a one in the comment section. Also, drop your city and state in the chat. Let's go ahead and get to playing what Kim Kardashian said, and let me break down and show you where the family's real money came from, so that y'all can stop hating. And then I'm gonna tackle a few people. I'm gonna talk about wholesalers. I'm gonna talk about some of the media folks you seeing out here, these YouTubers. I'm gonna talk about these podcasters, and y'all really gonna hear why I agree 100% what Kim Kardashian had to say, even though I know y'all don't like that, and y'all can get over it. So let's go ahead and share um, what she said here. Let me see here. All right, let's go here. And we're going to play this real quick for y'all.
For women in business. Get your up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
Uh-oh, are we going to have a problem? Of course, when I want to show y'all something, they want to trip. Hold on one second.
You have to surround yourself with people that want to work. Have a good work environment where.
So what she keeps saying repeatedly, and what it's being a hater and not letting me. Let me stop sharing it for a second. She said, "Get your ass up and work." Everybody wanna be famous. Everybody, and again, I always take it with a grain of salt that these people live in California. So part of what they're probably tired of people always trying to be famous for nothing, because that's just a lot of California. People move there to be actresses and actors. Do they have the skills? No, not necessarily. Let me go ahead and try this again. Let me try one more time. All right, let's try again. Here we go.
Loves what they do because you have one life. No toxic work environments, and show up and do the work.
If you're the smartest person in that room, you got to go to another room. Like, you don't. I want to be around really successful people because that's going to drive me to be successful. A lot of
OJ Simpson's daughter
get intimidated to be in a room full of smart thinkers, wealthy people, whatever it is. I want to be in that room because it also scares you to want to be. To be
motivates you and inspires you.
Yeah. I'm like, I gotta hustle. So
I think also because you see everything on social media and you think, oh, it's just a lifestyle, or oh, it's like really quick and easy and you can just post something, and it's not easy. When you do product shots, when you do post things that are work related posts, it's still a job and it's still really hard, and success is never easy. So if you put in the work, you will see results. It's that simple.
If you're the smartest person in that room.
Let me go back
one
more
wants
time.
To work these days. That's so true. You have to surround yourself with people that want to work. Have a good work environment where everyone loves what they do because you have one life. No toxic work environments, and show up and do the work.
If you're the smartest person in that room, you got to go to another room. You don't.
All right. So let's really dissect what was said here. Literally, all old girl said was, you got to show up and get to work. You got to do the work. Her sister said, listen, if you're the smartest person in the room, you got to get in another room. The message is absolutely fine. People are saying, "Oh, it's because it's Kim Kardashian. She got famous off the sex tape. She got famous off this." No, and I always want to clarify this. I want to make sure y'all understand what I'm saying. Ty Lopez had $1 million to $2 million in LA before he got on the internet, out of doing clubs, doing little websites, doing little crap, right? And it was him taking that initial $50,000 to $100,000 and running YouTube ads that launched him to where he is now, which is hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Investments in different things. But what people downplay is, well, what was he doing before? He wasn't this famous. You can have $1 million or two in California. It don't mean shit, y'all. If you're talking about 13% taxes on your money, then property taxes are insane. The cost of living is insane out there. $1 million is like comfortably poor, depending on where you're at. And a lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. You're talking about homes that are $1 million in California. In some parts, that don't even have AC. I was showing a video on here where it was $500,000 homes in California that didn't even have AC running in them. They literally had units out the window. It was crazy, right? So when we talk about $1 million, what is that really in California? That's a whole different kind of term. So let's break down what I was trying to show y'all on their family, because many people are like, "Oh yeah, their dad left them all this money. They don't know what they're talking about." So let's really break down, and you can find this article off thethings.com. Robert Kardashian's inheritance for his children's fortune, because I know y'all don't like to Google. So I got to force feed you the articles. Okay. So here's it is. This is the most important part of this article. Nothing else really matters. How did Robert Kardashian amass his 30 million net worth? When he died, at his time of death, he was worth $30 million. Listen to the part. After an uneventful law career, he forayed into multiple entrepreneur adventures. Even an attorney in California had to get into multiple ventures. Okay, let's be very clear. Y'all keep acting like people just get a job. They just show up with a job. And that's a very American way of thinking. His family was an immigrant family. Okay. So in 1973, listen how far back that is, he co-founded the trade publication Radio and Records. 6 years later, he sold it for a large profit. Let me say that again. In 1973. Put 1973 in the comments. Make sure y'all are listening. 1973. Put it in the comments. Let me see. Make sure y'all listening. He co-founded the trade publication Radio and Records. 6 years later, he sold it for a large profit. One of his biggest career achievements was coming up with an ideal of playing filler music in movie theaters. This gave a concept called movie tunes. Let's make that bigger. Okay. This man was not a dum-dum. He was an attorney, and we always hear about attorneys not making that much money. His biggest thing was Radio and Records. Okay. Now you scroll through some more, which this hologram thing was creepy. Don't care what context that says. Now, let's pay attention to this. This is the biggest part, because we always talk about O.J. Simpson's trial when really he was just a cheap lawyer in this process. Let me be very clear. Kardashian also teamed up with O.J. Simpson for a frozen yogurt business called Juice Inc. Get it? O.J. Simpson, the juice. Ha ha ha. Their partnership further solidified their friendship and led to more joint ventures and him making Khloe Kardashian. I'm just messing. They even started a music production company called Concert Cinema. Due to their close bond, O.J. Simpson served as Kardashian's best man at his wedding. Kardashian was married to Kris Jenner from 1978 to 1991. The famous mom manager basically later revealed in an autobiography that she had been cheating on Kardashian with former professional soccer player Todd Waterman. She attended Simpson's trial with her then husband, Caitlyn Jenner. Now let's back that back. Now she's told the truth that she cheated with Todd Waterman, but she didn't tell that part where she was cheating with OJ, and that's how Khloe Kardashian got here. That's all I'm gonna say. That child is OJ's daughter. Go look at OJ's daughters and look at Khloe before she keeps chopping on that nose. Identical. Okay, so let me just break that down. O.J. Simpson and Robert Kardashian got together in a partnership for a freezer yogurt called Juice. Basically, O.J. went in there making no juice, okay? Making no yogurt. They started a video production company called Concert Cinema. So when somebody's hot, like O.J. Simpson was hot in the news, his name, basically you have people come up to you all the time talking about they want to partner with you to do stuff. That's essentially what we just saw. Kardashian was married to Kris Jenner, okay? And so it said, again, she said she cheated, yada, yada, yada. You already know she cheated. Robert Kardashian left $100 million to his children. Okay, Kardashian is rumored to have left his children $100 million estate in trust. Not much is known about the exact details of his will, making it hard to verify that said amount. But according to TV presenter and longtime friend of the Karsens, Kathy Lee Ginsburg, said the family experienced financial struggles prior to doing Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Kris was having financial problems. I loaned Kris money years ago because they needed it. They were really struggling. She was the one who suggests the family did the radio show. Now, let's make that very clear. When I talk about Kim Kardashian trying to marry a music producer, which she did, because she's been married multiple times. When she was working for the Hiltons, Paris Hilton and them, when she got accused of stealing money from Brandy, I think that went to court. Many people said, "Oh, Erica, her daddy left her all this money. Her daddy left her all this money." Y'all, if this man, they have 5 kids supposedly together. Okay, that one that's not OJ's. They have all these kids. They live in California. They're living a luxurious lifestyle. She divorced him, okay, 1991. Even if he left the money to the kids in certain types of trust, those kids were not grown yet. So depending on the how you got the trust written, how the inheritance is written, you don't always get that money, and you always don't get access to that money. If Kathy Lee Ginsburg is saying she had to loan some money to this woman, and she's still bringing it up with her rude ass, they didn't have it like they said they did. I keep telling y'all, most people, if they get into a house, and I don't know if I can break it down on this article, but there's several articles where it shows that Kris Jenner made her Olympian husband, former Olympian husband, go out and do business speeches. Like that's how they made their money. She kept booking whatever he calls himself now, Caitlyn Jenner or whatever, kept booking him all year long for professional business motivation speeches. Now, motivational speakers can make up to 100,000, $500,000, depending on who you are. Him being a former Olympian probably helped, but that's a big part of their story is that she had to send him out there to go do these speeches to get some money for that family. Okay? So let's not play like they had all this money because it's not true. Okay? If he left them, even if it's 30 million, he left them $30 million. 10 years later, $30 million. What, 3 million a year with 5 kids? And she had additional kids and they're living in California? Come on, man. That's not enough money. Not for the type of life they trying to live. So again, this is what they look like before. OJ Simpson daughter over there. All them children look like him except for that one. Okay. Anyway, next. This is when reality TV was just getting a hold. This part is important. It's obviously a brilliant idea. Kylie Jenner alone was once named the youngest self-made billionaire ever. With her 10% mommy commissioned her mom get 10%. She amassed a total net worth of $190 million. Gifford even joked that she wanted that money back. We're sure that her family has rewarded her tenfold. So she's still talking about it. So she might have never ever got that money back. It might have been 10, 20K, who knows? But I want y'all to understand what you're hearing, what you're seeing. All right? They weren't doing as well as you thought they were. And if he had any debts or any businesses that needed to be closed, that they didn't have money like that. Okay? So a lot of people sit here and argue with you up and down that she's rich and they're rich. And I'm like, y'all don't know what you're talking about, man. Inheritance go fast. What are you talking about? All right, let me pull up a few more items just to show y'all kind of the breakdown of where that money was going. Let me see here. Okay, if you go here, look at all the shows that, of course, the mom has, information on and 10% manager free. You got Khloe Kardashian, Life of Callie, and these are one season, 2 seasons. The Dash Dolls, Rob and China, right? They got a check out of it. I'm Kate got a 1-year check. Chloe and Lamar got a check, right? Christina Milian, why is her name up underneath it? These are people associated with. And also her name is on some of this. Paris Hilton, Kirby Jenner, right? Under the rest of like all this stuff is related to them in different ways. If you go look up her mom and her name on a lot of stuff, it's insane. Like the IMBD, let me see if I can find that real quick. Here you go. Executive producers is what I'm trying to get you to. Kris Jenner, right? You go over here to Kris Jenner, right? Of course, all these children. She got some grandchildren now. You know what I'm saying? Um, 5 theories of who Khloe Kardashian real dad is. I'm sorry, that's so trashy but hilarious. Okay, so TV shows that she's been in is countless ones. The Keeping Up with Kardashians, the Khloe, the Kardashian, like her name's on a bunch of it. I'm trying to get to her IMDb real quick. It'll show her executive producer title if we can get to it. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so we go over here to her. And of course, she gets producer, writer, actress on stuff. If you look, again, born in San Diego, look at that. Boom. She's got 11 producer credits. Kirby Kenner, Flip It Like a Disc. Okay, remember Lord Disc, Rob Disc, Robin China, Khloe Kardashian, Kris, E News, Courtney and them Take Miami, Courtney Takes New York. She's got producer credits on all this stuff. On all this stuff. Okay. More. This is hilarious and wrong, but hilarious. With Chloe's real dad, Courtney's real dad. Again, part of too how they make money is a lot of these are sponsored deals. They do hours and hours of recording, hours and hours of getting sponsorships. They probably have people on staff that call around to get those sponsorships, but I promise you, it takes time. It's not like they set it and forget it, right? A lot of people think that's what's happening. It's not. If you look up here, Rob, that the brother of, he always looks so down because the witches are taking all his energy. He got $1 million guaranteed for these shows, and then they get anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 at the highlight reel of their Kardashianness on their Instagram posts. But again, people had to organize that, get that put together. Let me see. Same thing here. Kris, again, you can look up Kris. This Caitlyn Jenner, William Bruce Jenner, who's 72 years old, married multiple times, has 6 children. If you look at when they were married, she put him out there to work. She put him out there to speak on stages. He was killing it. Okay. Jenner had licensed his previous name, Bruce Jenner, Westwood Centers, and a Nautilus and aerobics in the 1980s to a gym. She had no ownership in the licensed name centers, were merely owned by somebody else. So again, selling license of their name, selling aircraft supplies. He was a vice president of a staffing industry. Okay. Again, all these different things. These people, these people didn't have no money. They didn't. People don't realize they didn't have any money. So anyway, I just wanted to break that down about the Kardashians because a lot of people are losing real sight of how much money is real money. Another thing I wanted to bring up, and I told y'all I would bring it up, is wholesalers. Right, we're 18 minutes in, so I'm gonna make this too long. Wholesalers, this one guy said wholesaling is dead. Now, is it dead? No, it's not. But a lot of times, what happens is people are like, hey, Erica, I don't know where I want to start in real estate. I'm thinking of being a wholesaler, because they see something easy. They think they're going to call somebody with a perfectly manicured home that's going to give up their property. No, these homes have to usually be half on fire, bed bug, hoarder infested, falling through the ground, or somebody has inherited it. They don't want it. There's a reason they don't want it. Asbestos, whatever. And they just want to get rid of it. The percentage of people doing that right now in a market upcycle where they can just sell a house that looks like shit for top dollar to a real estate agent is very limited. It's very small. If you say, Eric, I'm thinking of being a wholesaler, you call me, I'm gonna tell you right now, 9 times out of 10, I'm like, won't you go be an inspector? Won't you go be a home appraiser? Won't you go get a guaranteed check? Because you trying to make a bunch of phone calls, convince a person with a perfectly normal house to sell, it's not happening. It ain't happening. Was there a heyday a couple years ago in Detroit, Ohio, parts of Houston, these places where you could really get those deals to move and go? For sure. But overall, that is not how that works right now. A lot of the people that you see were big wholesalers, they ain't even wholesaling. They selling courses and classes. They have staff and team that make phone calls, but they're literally looking for the most distressed properties. or they're looking for land or commercial or something, right? We got to get away from this. I'm not really trying to do a lot of work. Now, even when I describe this whole Khloe Kardashian and Kim Kardashian thing, the hours they put into media buying, getting the media to get them in newspaper articles, doing photo shoots, doing clothing deals, because they had like pants at one point in time. They had a lot of stuff that went into production over this 20-year run, right? All these things still required them to push, required their time, required their attention. And a lot of people miss that part. A lot of people just want to hop on YouTube and go viral for saying silly stuff. And you see them just saying the most outrageous, silly stuff so they can go viral in this desperate attempt to kind of copy the Kevin Samuels rise of just catching somebody saying something off the cuff. And what they don't realize is a lot of these people with these channels could go. Now, I know one dude, I forgot his name, Mediocre Testimonials or whatever. He lost his scholar sponsorship or something. The reason it was such a big uprush of him losing his sponsorship is because you have to go work and get these sponsorships, right? Or when I tell the people on the channel, I have 200 affiliates, but it comes from me reaching out via ClickBank, reaching out constantly in Instagram, following up with people, going on Podseeker, crafting an actual business, right? In this media space. And a lot of times what people don't understand is when people say, well, I want to be in real estate. And I go, what do you want to particularly do in real estate? Because it's going to require money or time, right? So in this new construction build, I finally, when I found a 10-acre lot, it wasn't in the best neighborhood, right, in Texas, but it was big enough to get surveyed and put a small, either rental property or a property that can be sold, small duplex built on it. Now people are gonna say, well, why don't you do this or that with this property? Because really our goal is only to just sell, get 100K play and keep it moving, right? It's a time versus energy, time versus credit, time versus a lot of things, action. And I'll do a video deep diving into real estate and land and that kind of conversion where you see a lot of people heading to is new construction because of all these older properties where people already know the price and the value and they want money for it. So you're not just going to hop in and wholesale and think, hey, I'm in the game. It's going to be a lot more work than you think. Same thing with this media building. A lot of people think, well, I'm going to go on Instagram and post every day and make all these great pictures. And I'm going to do a video called Pictures in Proximity because I went on a trip with a bunch of people and a lot of them, they took these amazing photos, right? These amazing photos. And look how great these photos are. And when you actually figured out their everyday life, a lot of them were um, nowhere near financially where they want these pictures to convey, right? Or that they have to work on and off to get this lifestyle. When other people, me and a couple of business owners on a trip are like, hey, we just swiped our card and come on out here and know when we get back home, we'll rank our business back up. That's a different type of conversation. But we also have to talk about what real work looks like and what's the definition of work. And there's dignity in work. And so to try to say, well, Kim Kardashian can't talk because her family's rich or her daddy left her all this money, you don't understand the situation. Most people aren't going to read. Most people are doing these short-sighted conversations, and it's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And so I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope it made some sense. Please leave your comments. Please leave your city and state in the chat. Let me know some of your feedback on this because I know some people are shocked my view on this, that I agree with Kim Kardashian. But again, it takes a lot to get 20 years of media attention and also make things work, right? Because their jean company, they had it for a while, is down. They had cards, they had all kind of affiliates and partnerships, and these things require somebody on staff arm twisting folks to get that money there. And it started with Kris Jenner being the one spearheading it, and now her grandchildren and her daughter that may have $1 billion makeup company can basically ride off into the sunset. So I hope this was helpful. Definitely leave me some comments. We'll talk more about the dignity of work the rest of this week. This is your girl, Erica, Classy Clown Blog. I apologize for my voice. I am still recovering here. So you guys have a great